As many of you probably already know by now, Funding Talent has officially shut its doors. It started out by them removing their challenge account and trying to push traders onto a different model. And as I said in a previous video when they first announced this, it was only a matter of time until they shut down completely, and that is exactly what has happened. It's been a couple of weeks now. If you weren't aware of this news, well, now you know. And I've had a little bit of time to think about this and reflect on it and see how things are kind of unfolding. And I've been wondering not only how this is going to impact traders, specifically traders that were funded with Funding Talent, but also how it's going to impact the funding industry as a whole. So in today's video, that is exactly what we're going to talk about. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Matt L. I'm a full-time Forex trader living in Montreal, and I'm also getting my real estate license on the side. 70% of you watching are not subscribed, so if you get value from this video, you know what to do. So starting out, it is a super unfortunate situation, but if we were to take the glass half full approach,
it's not even half full or half empty.
I do think that it's a really good learning opportunity for both traders and funding companies. So let's start off with the lesson that I think companies need to take from this. For starters, a race to the bottom is not going to be a sustainable business model. One of the first videos that I made on this channel was comparing FTMO to Funding Talent, and I was recommending FTMO over Funding Talent, and a lot of traders were saying that they much preferred Funding Talent, and why was I going with a company that was more expensive and had a more difficult challenge. And that's because they were more reputable, they'd been around longer, and Funding Talent was really the new kid on the block. Funding Talent over time continued to increase their profit splits, they made their challenge easier, they lowered prices, they made a whole bunch of adjustments, even to the point when it was too many adjustments. We started to notice that almost every week there was some kind of change, which was a big red flag. So all of these changes was really Funding Talent trying to race to the bottom, or potentially race to the top, depending on how you look at it, and try and have everybody flood to their company and to their funding through better profit splits, cheaper challenges, easier challenges. Now, it did put pressure on other companies to improve their services. FTMO has increased their profit split, but it really goes to show that this is not sustainable in the long run. So the learning lesson is, for companies, they should really be focusing on quality. Wow, look at this. And of course, challenge fees and profit splits are important, they do matter, but if you think you're going to get more customers by just offering the cheapest solution in the industry, well, there's a reason that FTMO hasn't made their challenge any easier or increased profit splits to like 95%, because, well, they do need to make some sort of money. They do need to have a sufficient profit margin to keep things moving forward, and clearly that was not happening with Funding Talent. So I hope that companies are taking Funding Talent as an example and are really making sure that everything that they're doing is sustainable and isn't going to just implode over time. The second lesson is in regards to traders, you and I watching this. What can we learn from this so that hopefully we don't find ourselves in a similar situation in the future? I think the lesson is that we need to do more due diligence and more research on these companies. Before Funding Talent imploded, there were rumors circulating that they weren't actually matching the trades that funded traders were taking. So you got funded, you received a demo account, and a lot of people were under the impression that the trades that they were taking were of course being matched on a master account by Funding Talent, and that was not the case. So I think Funding Talent obviously underestimated the number of traders that are profitable and to what extent they are profitable. So they were paying traders out with the challenge fees, which relied on them onboarding tons and tons of traders. So it's basically a Ponzi scheme. If you were to look at the exact criteria of a Ponzi scheme, maybe they were missing a variable or two, but they were not far off. Now, that is not to make light of the situation. I really do feel bad for all the traders that were funded with them, that worked hard on passing their challenges. It's just unacceptable, and I do hope that there is some kind of remediation or there's some kind of compensation that people are going to receive. I haven't seen anything in regards to lawsuits and any legal proceedings, but I'm sure something is in the works, even if it is just behind the scenes. All of that to say, I think that this is a really good learning lesson for traders. We need to do more research, and we need to make sure that the companies that we go with have a long enough time period of payout proof. We don't want a company to just show proof over the last month of paying out. A year plus of proof is really beneficial, and as much evidence as we can have in regards to them matching our trades, because I don't think that it's going to be profitable for companies in the long run unless they're perhaps limiting the number of traders that they have to pay out with challenge fees. I just don't see how that could really work. It would be kind of a snowball effect, and eventually they'll probably run out of snow. That's a Canadian reference. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. So the question is, where do we move forward from here? For starters, FTMO is still my #1 favorite funding company. They have been around the longest. They're super solid. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive than a few other companies. Yes, there are companies that have easier challenges, but I think if Funding Talent teaches us anything, it's that quality over quantity is really what is important in a lot of situations, especially in this situation. So FTMO is still my #1. I know a lot of traders have migrated to them since a Funding Talent closing, so I think that is really great. But FTMO does get a lot of attention, and I don't want to underlook some other companies that are doing really great things. I know my Forex fund is quickly climbing the ladder of competition, and it seems to be FTMO versus my Forex fund at this point. I'll have more videos coming out about them in the future, so I do think that they are an exciting newer company that you could consider. Another one that I have made a few videos on is Trader Central Fund. I know a few of you were sketched out with their risk assessment rule, which is when you could pass the challenge, and then if you didn't hit certain criteria that they were looking at, you wouldn't receive your funded account. They have gotten rid of that though. Totally understand those concerns there. I am with you. They weren't my favorite either, but they've gotten rid of that. So I have a friend who is with Trader Central Fund. I know a few other traders that are taking their challenge, and they have had a good experience so far. All that to say, there is a lot of competition, which I think is going to be really good for us, the consumers, the traders. We don't want things to get overextended in the sense that, you know, again, it's another race to the bottom or the top and everyone starts slashing prices. Again, we want quality, so don't just hop onto the cheapest challenge. Definitely do your due diligence. I always hear a lot of other companies kind of popping up in the background too, so with this video, I'm asking all of you to let me know what companies you are the most excited about. Is there a funding company that you would like me to make a video on, do a little bit of research for you guys? I can 100% do that, but all of that to say, if you were affected by Funding Talent and this whole situation, I do feel bad for you, but let's take this as a learning lesson, both for us and hopefully for companies as well. So at the end of the day, the entire industry will be better off because of it. These funding companies are a blessing in the sense that they really provide us with more capital than we otherwise would have access to, so that we can hopefully reach our financial goals, maybe quit our job, or just have a little bit of extra income on the side. Whatever it is, they are really a blessing. So I hope you guys don't get too discouraged with this situation. That is it for today's video and my thoughts on the Funding Talent situation. If you're still here, you have my gratitude. I hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, peace.